When we look at this text, especially the topic is very seriously going on, that I am not mana, I am not buddhi. First I am not body, then comes I am not prana, then I am not mana, I am not buddhi. So while talking each one aspect, also it was highlighted very carefully how each aspect takes care of one aspect. I hope you have looked at or you remembered very carefully. Starting with when it's a deha. So that means once you start looking at that, you are not deha. So the best thing what happens is that the person definitely will not have any attachment towards the body. And when the person doesn't have any attachment towards the body, so definitely that person will not be affected or will not be worried about more death and after death birth. So the fear of this loss will not be there. And while discussing about prana, I am not prana. So visualizing, understanding this aspect, the person will grow out of the affliction of hunger and thirst. Because these are the beautiful points that we have discussed in details, that's why I am trying to summarize. Third one is manaha. So when a person starts looking at that, I am not mind, but I witness the mind, I am the witness of the mind, then of course that person, what happens? Shoka moha. This is the most. So shoka moha means the sorrow and the delusion will not be there. It's because each one is related to that. And fourth one, that also we have seen, that I am not buddhi. The moment I start witnessing that I am the witness of the buddhi, but I am not buddhi. So when this I start looking at the kartutva bhava in me, the sense of doership will get vanished. And once sense of doership goes away, along with the sense of doership, sense of enjoyership also goes away. While looking at this aspect, as the chanting was going on, that's why I took it up. However, the life is full of expectation. So let me share one story so that it will be easier how life moves, okay? One side teaching, how another side of the life. So let me share one small beautiful example. There was a shopkeeper. He was about to close the shop. Discovered a dog is standing in front of the door, in front of the shutter. Then try to see, discovered that there is a bag and the dog is holding a bag, biting a bag. So, okay, as though dog is trying to say something. And of course, the shopkeeper went out, looked at that, pulled the bag, and saw inside the bag there is some money and there is a list. And he was shocked, what is going on? And of course, he calculated money and gave all this whatever to be given based on the list and put in the bag and handed over to the dog with the money. And this shop fellow was very curious what is happening and closed as early as possible, as quick as possible the shop and started following the dog. And of course dog went. As dog was going, went towards a bus stand, near the bus stand, waited for the bus, and interestingly right number of the bus could get him. And there tried to go to the conductor, went to the conductor and said, look, and tried to show somewhere near the belt there is some money. And of course, the conductor was good enough, took the money, and inside the money there is also written up to which place will go. The ticket was handed over and again the conductor put the ticket right place. And this shopkeeper also was following based on that, got the ticket and followed. And interestingly, when the stoppage was about to come, dog went near to the conductor, giving hint that this is my stoppage. And of course, conductor allowed and stops and went out. And this shopkeeper also started following what is happening. And finally, the dog reached the home and started knocking, hitting the door. So after many hit, many knock, so the owner come out of it. And of course, that time, this shopkeeper was a little bit away to watch what is going on. And the person came out, started shouting at the dog. How stupid you are! The shopkeeper didn't understand what is this. Why did you make this mistake? What mistake this dog do? Shopkeeper was again shocked and surprised. Such a great job, even if a human being cannot do it. But how could he do? What mistake he has done? Then the shopkeeper could not keep quiet. Shopkeeper went and asked, "Look, I am the shopkeeper." And came and I followed. I was curious to understand. But tell me, in spite of doing all the great things, how could you shout? And how could you say that he made a mistake? This stupid fellow did not understand. Had he taken the key along with him, I would not have disturbed. You understand? He could have taken the key along with him so that he opened the key and entered so that I would have slept some more time happily. Don't you think that he has made a mistake? That's why I am shouting. This world is all about expectation, okay? So whatever you do, people will expect more. And our job is not to fulfill others' expectation, but to live up to others' expectation. So when I live up to others' expectation, there is a growth in me. There is no pressure in me. Remember, when I try to fulfill others' expectation, there is a pressure in me. If not today, tomorrow I'll burst, either rebellious burst or whatever I'll go through. Whereas when I live up to others' expectation, there will be a growth in me. And that is what is being taught when a person follows this system. Okay? Coming back to our again teaching. That while talking all these things in details, we also need to see, yes, I understand. Now means I am ignorant. He said, no, not necessarily. Why and how? Please read this. Nagyanam syamaham devaha ajnana sakshiti nischayat sarbanartha nibruti syat iti vedanta dindimaha. Aham ajnanam na syat iti. So that means I am not the ignorance. Because sometimes it comes to the point. This is what all these religious people will say, look, I am Dashoha. There is a big group, okay? So especially in India, all these Dvaita followers, and especially I am from Odisha, the Jews, that is there. So all these, all these Vaishnava sadhus especially, they will say, I am Dashoham. I am servant. I am just dust of this whole universe. And more than this, what they talk, let us not get into. That's another point about it, altogether it. But when they say, aham dashaha iti, that means they themselves try to degrade themselves. Please understand. Degrading themselves. And another sampradaya, like we say, aham saha so aham iti. I am that, he is me, I am that. That is also another type of arrogance. So I am Brahman. Who are you to say that you are a Brahman? If you say you are a Brahman, you are not a Brahman, you are a Brahma in Brahma. Brahma means delusion, okay? Brahma and Brahma, there is only small difference. B-R-A-H-M-A, Brahma. B-H-R-A, B-H-R-A-H-M-A, okay? Only H word in between, that's all. Brahma, Brahma, okay? So be very careful, watchful. I am Brahman. Hey, please keep quiet. So here he says, no ajnanam iti. So when he says, no ajnanam sham, so I am not the ignorance. So let me not associate myself, oh, I am ignorant. So that means when you say I am ignorant, like politicians very nicely, to get the sympathy of others, how they accept and acknowledge their mistake in the public. Have you not observed this? Sometimes we do that. Or we to self-condemn ourselves, we do, hey, I am ignorant, I don't know anything. You don't know anything or you don't want to know anything. Can you see the difference? Because you don't want to listen to, or you don't listen to. Most of the time you don't want to know anything. That's why you say, you don't know anything. It's a very dangerous statement to make it. So that's why embracing the ignorance itself is a big mistake. That's why we say, each one of us born with a capital called ignorance. But remember, we all are born with ignorance, but we must not die with ignorance. Yes, Swamiji, that's why I was born as ignorant, and I will die not as an ignorant, but as an arrogant. You understand? And remember, as long as you are arrogant, you cannot die. Try. It is impossible to die arrogantly. Only ignorant person dies helplessly. The arrogance will not work. All your arrogance will be destroyed, will be shattered. Yes, you can live arrogantly, but you cannot die arrogantly. Nobody is able to die arrogantly. That's why the more I am arrogant, the more I become helpless in my life. The helplessness in me only comes because of arrogance. So that's why this comes, why? Because this ignorance plus ahankara put together becomes arrogance. Can you see this point? When there is ignorance plus ahankara, the ego, that becomes arrogance. And this is what a common person live life. So that's why here he says, na ajnanam syamiti. Aham ajnanam not syam. That means I am not ignorance. So when I am not the ignorance, then who is that? He says, ajnana sakshi deva iti. Aham deva iti. Deva means the self-signing, self-effulgent God. That is the self. I am the self-signing one. And ajnana sakshi, the one who witness of the ignorance. Can you see this point? Okay, it's fantastic, but you told all these things. Each thing takes care of one aspect. By understanding this thing, what is going to happen? He says, look, by this thing, iti nischayat, iti nischaya jnanat iti. By this clear understanding, without any doubt. The understanding should be free from all sort of doubt. That's called nischaya jnanam. Nischaya jnanadi. Because of the clear understanding of this, the person will have what? Sarvartha nivruti. Sarva anartha nivruti shat iti. So anartha means all sort of wrong things, misfortunes. bad things. So all the bad things, misfortunes will be taken care, will be eliminated. Can you see what a beautiful thing to happen? That's why this understanding to be there. Okay, that means you mean after all these things, I should always think that I am a Shakshi Purusha, I am a Shakshi Purusha, I am a Shakshi Purusha. So I witness, and I witness. Please understand, witnessing is not a job. Look at your house. Being a house owner, you do not witness your house. You do not guard your house. But remember, the security guard witnesses or guards houses or your house. So that becomes his job. But your job is not to guard your house, not to witness your house. So also as a man of witness, if you understand, witnessing is not your job. Swamiji, I am doing one meditation, I keep witnessing. There is a group, okay? So always you should be in Shakshi Bhava. He will go nut. You will go crazy. If you choose to become crazy, please go ahead, okay? So nothing wrong in it. But only request is you don't make others crazy. That's the only problem, okay? If you become crazy, you continue your craziness, but don't make others crazy. However, says carefully and beautifully, let us read the next verse. Aham saksheti yo vidyat vivichyevam punah punah saeva mukto so vidwan iti vedanta dindimaha. Says aham saksheti yo vidyat, that I am the witness. So when it says aham, only I am the one who witnesses. And what is to be done? Bibicheva punah punah. The one who discriminates, having discriminated again and again, because there is a natural tendency that I will go back. Aham deha iti, aham prana iti, aham mana iti, aham buddhi iti, sometimes aham ajnanam iti. You understand the English, Sanskrit now? I am body, I am prana, I am mana, I am mind, sometimes I am buddhi, and finally I don't know anything. I am ignorant. So this is a very natural process, it will happen. That's why my job is, whenever this comes, okay, I am body, what are you doing? I am mind, what are you doing? So I have to put a self-reminder for myself. Then only through that what will happen is bibicchya punah punah. So having discriminated, having analyzed again and again, having reminded, being reminded by oneself again and again. Yah evam vidyat also saeva muktaha. So the one who recognizes this by constant discrimination, that person alone is muktaha, liberated, not anybody else. At the same time, it is not a job, please remember. But it is a process. Can you see this point? Being a process, being a practice or a job, there is big difference or not? So whole life we practice, and more we practice, you know what happens to all of us more. Let us read the next. Naham maya na tat karyam no sakshi paramo smyaham iti nisansaya jnanat mukti vedanta dindimaha. Beautiful concept here beings. It says, look, after all, this is illusionary word. After all, I am not interested in this thing. I am only interested in Brahman. So what is this? You are interested only in Brahman. What do you mean by this Brahman? Is it Brahman or Brahma? Your delusion. This is also need to be looked at, understood very carefully, or else there is another type of disaster in life. Because mind finds somewhere some shelter. Mind holds on to something which is fascinating or which is different. Fascinating means what? That which is different. If you look at a child is fascinated to many things. But same fellow when grows up, the fascination goes down. Why? There is no much difference, you understand? So as long as mind finds something different, mind is fascinated towards that. Whether person, object, situation. When mind understands there is nothing called different, will mind get fascinated? That's why when you get a first job, after studying you get a job, you get fascinated. Because it's different. Second job, some difference. After third job, fourth job, will you be interested? Same thing, because you understand there is no difference. Same stupid boss, same work culture, everything is same, you understand? Maybe you will be interested, that will be fascinating for you how to take retirement, okay? So after retirement also again you will get fascinated because mind looks for something different. Please understand. So same thing also Maya. So you can say, look, after all these are fascinated things, what is there all about it? You can, criticize, you can look down. No. But you have to understand, very beautifully it says that. Aham maya no iti. So I am not the maya, not that karyam, nor even the effect of it. Because when I say that I am not fascinated, I am not interested in these things, that means what? Still I am holding on to the effect of Maya or not? It's a very subtle point. But the moment I say that I am not interested in all these things, this is a silly thing for me. These are the mundane things. I am not interested. This is called language, okay? The moment I say that these are the mundane things, do I subscribe that there is a mundane thing or not? Do I encourage in my mind subconsciously to the mundane things or not? There I become a split personality, a dual personality. Can you see this point? I want something, but externally I present it differently. Because of some fear, because of some loss, because of lack of understanding. That's why no maya iti, I am definitely not this illusionary world, nor even if that effect, even if slightest amount of it. And interestingly, it says beautifully, no saksiti, that previous verse is being carried here, nor even if I am a witness. Destroys that. Remember, this destruction has to be done systematically. First day, I am not sakshi. It's like, we say very nicely, this is what I remember, one mistake I made, but now I should not say this thing. Why to waste our time, all these antibiotics? Straight away, take this penicillin injection. You understand? There is one injection called penicillin. I remember in my teenage time I did it, okay? What disaster I did, I only know, nobody knows, okay? Without testing, really, that was a very bad thing. You are supposed to test whether it is, or else it can bring fatal. There is no doubt in it. However, because that's the best medicine, but I did not know. Hey, look, once you take penicillin, no other medicine will work. You understand? No antibiotic, nothing will work. In fact, when a cancerous patient goes to the critical stage, I can say last stage, critical stage, when everything fails, to reduce the pain and other things, they give penicillin. That becomes the almost end. However, coming back to the point. So like how it can happen, this, without understanding, straight out they take the best and life is waste. Same thing also, the best process, I am witness, I am not interested in anything. All these are mundane. Then what will happen? Life will become a waste. Because that should be a gradual process. There should be a gradual growth. And remember, in this knowledge, there is no quantum jump. More you try to do quantum jump, who is jumping? The mind is jumping. Can you see this point? And why mind wants to jump? Wherever there is darkness, wherever there is some challenge, that mind wants to avoid through jumping. Can you see this point? So here, in this case, jumping is not allowed at all. That's why no sakshiti, straight I don't go, slowly, gradually you need to. When you understand, I am no more body. Anything happens to the body, like the example of that Odia Baba. There is a pause, there is some pause. And the ants are eating. That Swamiji, what is saying? The ants are falling and say, look, he is lifting the ants, eat it. Because after all, your food. Means the person is not interested in the body at all. But what happens to me if there is a little bit caught in my hand? There is a caught. How when it's going to dry? What is going to happen? You understand? So I am worried about it. Oh, sorry, that is your example, live example, okay? So person, I'm sorry, I don't mean anybody, okay? Some example I brought it, okay? Please. So what I'm trying to say is, and of course, coming to the point that, okay, I changed the thing. Now I am down, prana. I am down. I am alone. Nobody looks at me. Nobody talks to me. So that is related to prana. And mind, of course, you know better. What is your mind? Buddhi. So one need to work slowly, step by step. Without looking at all these things straight, I say, hey, all these are mundane things. Please, it will not work. That's why it says, no sakshiti. Finally says, I am not witness. Then what? Who is? Paramasmi aham. Aham parama asmi iti. So I am the supreme reality. And how? Nishansha jnanat mukti. This is the beautiful word. Nishansha means without any doubt. The knowledge that which is free from all sort of doubts. When he says knowledge free from all sort of doubt, please remember. Like, if anybody calls behind you your name, and you look back, and the person does like this, do you have any doubt that the person is calling you, not anybody? So with reference to your name, maybe the same person, same name, another fellow is there. Still you will go to that person, you understand? So if a person calls your name, there is no doubt in it. That's why even if you are in deep sleep, somebody calls your name, you wake up. Have you not observed that? So that is called nisanshaya jnanam about your name. So here also same sort of jnanam, same sort of knowledge should be there. Then only says with that muktihi iti. Then only the liberation comes. If there is small doubt, I am sorry. Iti Vedanta Dindimaha. This is the proclamation of Vedanta Shastra. And interestingly, the next verse that is going to talk very beautiful point, which we'll be seeing on Monday, which will highlight that na aham sarvamiti. I am not sarvam. I am not in everything. Why suddenly this thing comes? Because to highlight that I am not karanam. Because if I think I am the cause, problem starts, especially all these parents. Sometimes parents' life, their personal life will be very good. Absolutely no problem. But because they think that they are parents, with reference to children's life, their life becomes miserable. And I notice this, more you grow old, more you are worried with reference to your children. Have you not observed many people? Hey, it is their life, who are you? Let them live, die, or whatever happens. How does it matter to you? I'm sorry to use this word, okay? Let them do whatever. How does it matter to you? You did your job. Wash your hand. Grow out of it. This is what is being highlighted. Karanam iti. We'll see. I am no karanam. More of it we'll see on Monday. Please close your eyes.